tell. Yeah, yeah, a little bit. It kind of consumes my thoughts sometimes. Not so much recently, but for a while there, I was getting really freaked out. I think when also like having kids, you're like, oh, just everything's so messed up and all these crazy signs. There's that one poem where I talk about thriving poison ivy. I was reading this article about how like global warming is actually advantageous for certain species, and poison ivy, of course, is one of them. So they're like, yay, climate change. That's poison ivy.
Not like kittens.
Not kittens, right? It would be like roaches and.
I have two questions.
Yeah.
There was some profanity in your writing.
Mm-hmm.
What is your favorite curse word?
I like fuck a lot.
You like the?
I like the F-bomb, yeah.
Okay.
She likes
yeah.
the word.
What color? No. Okay. You said I thought it was shit because you said shit a lot.
I do say shit a lot, yeah.
What color would you say that fuck is like?
What color? I don't know. It's a really interesting question. The first thing that came to my mind is blue when you asked me the question, so I'll say blue.
Oh, my favorite curse word was private pussy. That was
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah.
Because it's like it's not a public.
No, it's
Okay.
my own private
Sorry.
No, it's fine.
You have lots of spaces in the line, but you don't actually read them.
Uh-huh. I don't always pause.
When Duncan did that, he conducted it.
Uh-huh.
And he had a certain number of beats for every one amount of space.
Right.
But you have in mind to pause if I'm looking at the page.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sometimes I ignore the space. Sometimes I will say, have a pause. He's talking about on the page that I'll put like a little, I'll tab it, have it for Wikipedia, just leave some space. And I mostly do that for the page experience, I think, for the reader, to make sense of the lines and to make it more visually interesting. But I don't always have a break where there's a break. Yeah.
I have a question about the length of your work. Your poems are very short.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if you write in the first draft, is it usually longer? You whittle it down because your words sound very precise. You just automatically know which one.
I'm not so much in the music or like condensing it. I don't like write really big and then whittle it down so much. I actually write short.
You already know the word that you know.
Yeah, it's like a 3-minute pop song. It's kind of stuck on that form. I grew up with like power pop and punk and stuff, and I think it I got like that hook, that hook, the hooky song, the hooky short song is my song. And I think that's just how I write. Yeah.
Michael could get the sound of the crackle, right?
Before you came in,
I could probably search for it on the phone if you want.
You should have called it a crack.
Yeah.
This is another silly question, but out of people I might have listened to, who are some of your favorite poets that you enjoy reading?
One, it changes, but one of my favorite living poets is Alice Motley. Right now I'm teaching a class on the work of Charles Wilson, and we're reading the Maximus poems, and he's a real touchdown poet for me. And interestingly, both poets, are really speechy, really speech-based, and you've probably heard that in their poems. They don't sound like a paper, that kind of syntax. It's more riding the rails of speech.
Yeah, I was going to say that you wrap a lot of that profanity and the global destruction and the rest in that very small space in the kinds of things that I'm familiar with as a parent, babies and potty training and Fruit Loops and whatever it is.
Uh-huh.
And out of that little space you get a lot.
There was a sentence that I wrote because I liked it. Is a prop to introduce to the president or produce? Present.
There's a lot of P's in that line.
That was,
Prop.
I like the P.
Present.
You used the P very well.
President. Yeah. No, well, it's interesting.
Damn, man, I was
The
just-
phrasing is just very, it's a prop to present
To the president.
Yeah.
It's, what is that, iambic? Who's
I
gonna
don't know.
Alliteration.
There's a lot of alliteration, and then the present and the president kind of rhyme.
I know, but the rhythm is iambic? It's,
I haven't scanned it. If you scan it, let me know. 'cause
I just did.
Yeah,
It
it's
is.
iambic, is
Yeah,
it?
it is.
I like the iambic. It's like looked up, it's like the heart.
Mm-hmm. What's the truth?
Yep.
What inspires you to find, I think, your children?
The green world. Yeah. I didn't read some more of my earthy green witch poems, but like I gave you the herbal lesson about making cleaner winter. But yeah, the green world. Definitely poetry. Other poets, poems. Sound. Just like really delighting sound. Yeah.
You know what I like about you? You know one of my favorite words, you know, Shakespeare insults, invective. You know, it's like your poems may be short, but it's like you have the wind up. You're like your affect is sort of, and then you spit.
All right.
No, but that's, I mean, you know what I mean? It's got some power. And I was wondering, looking at your work is definitely some, like if I first picked it up, I wouldn't read it like you do. So I find it, I'd like to read, once I have heard you read it and I look at your work, I would try to read it more like
Right.
I'm oriented.
Isn't it interesting how that changes your relationship to the work, to hear how the poet would say it? It's nice with the internet now, you can actually hear people, read their poems. I like listening to how Charles Wilson reads his poems. And then I tend to read my poems like him. Like I think I internalize his phrasings and the way he talks when I read them. But I like that because I feel like it's closer to what he meant.
And I think what Ralph said is really that you internalize all that other environmental, political stuff, and you build it up, and then you spit back, like a viper. It's
Fierce, I think, is one of the one word
Who,
you
Nate?
said, like ferocious.
Your friend
poems.
Nate from Amazon?
No, it was Stephen's song.